ready to go?
Yeah.
So I'd like to call to order the work session of the City of Pendergrass, November 11th, 2025. I see there's a quorum. Do I have a motion to call the meeting?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a vote?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Who seconded that?
So the work session for November 11th is now is open. Stand and pledge the flag again.
Roll.
I'm going to proceed with the current business. As you know, the Bruce Park is up and running. There's been like 600 and I think 50 some people on Facebook that hit the thumbs up and likes and stuff. So it's been, I think we did a nice job on it. Just so you know, it's a nice success. So, and it's I mean, there's a lot of kids that want to play.
I seen it. Pulled up.
I love it.
You got a lot of good comments.
It's a good thing. Now, for that, when we move to the new business, we're going to go over the purchasing policies that the city never had. So,
For the thing, we're gonna do the.
oh, yeah.
The
Yeah.
ribbon cutting.
Yeah,
right?
on the 22nd, we're going to do a ribbon cutting for the park. What did we say, 11 o'clock? And then we're going to do, the first 24 kids that get there are going to get an engineer's hat and a train whistle. So,
And was that for the train that you put up?
yeah, so we're going to do that
What day was it?
next Saturday,
Next Saturday?
The 22nd at
11 o'clock.
a.m.
Yeah, so we'll do a little ribbon cutting for that with the hats and the whistles.
We're potentially talking about doing a naming contest for the engine.
Yeah.
To get like a sign to put on it. So we're like involving the public with naming it.
Yeah, we're going to get a sticker for the side of the train engine and stuff like that.
I've already got it.
But
Instead of color, express.
Yeah, 11 o'clock.
yes. The other thing too, the dog park will probably be about 2 weeks away.
Excellent.
Okay, he said he can come in, probably start in the beginning of December, maybe, so we'll have a dog park behind the city hall there on Black
I might be
Friday.
on Judge Judy with a dog park about each other.
Now, remember guys, you need a leash, so don't forget your leash if you plan on going to the park.
It'll be broken into 2 sections, big dog, little dog.
You ain't got to worry about being your dog park. Now, you bring the candy.
So the next thing is the purchasing policy. Jennifer and I have made some changes on it from what the original was.
So the changes that were made, I can go over. Yes, please. Yes. The bones of it are mostly the same. If you look at the purpose, which is A, on page 4, I added, well, throughout the document, I changed mayor to mayor/city manager is the first change that I made. That way, if we do hire a city manager, they can act in that capacity, and we won't have to come back and look at this again. We won't have to readdress it or vote it in another purchasing policy. And then the second thing is adding in the definition of dollar thresholds. That's based on the total amount spent with a single vendor for the same item, similar service, or unique contract agreement within a fiscal year. So that way they know that it's if they're gonna buy the same thing over and over again, it's technically a split purchase if they're saying, oh, well, this is only $250 this week, but then I'm gonna buy it again next week for $250. That counts as, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Much more money. Okay. So I kind of defined what the dollar threshold actually means for the entire fiscal year. And then we added some to page 5, conflict of interest. We added what disclosure looks like for the city, because it is in our charter for conflict of interest to be disclosed for employees and for council members / the mayor. It looks different for each of them according to the charter. And I also defined immediate family member, and the immediate family member was defined according to how our personnel policy currently defines immediate family member. And the charter says immediate family member. It also says direct or indirect financial interest, so I made sure to use those exact words. So the paragraphs where it says it is the responsibility of the city employee, official, or agent and the vendor, so both of them should disclose the fact that there is a conflict of interest at the time of the formal quote being submitted. So that establishes when the conflict should be disclosed. It can't be later. That establishes when. Disclosure from city employees or appointed officials should be submitted in writing to the mayor or city manager and attached to any formal quote or bid by the vendor with which the conflict exists. So it needs to be written via email or letter or however, as long as it's in writing and as long as it goes with the quote for both the employee and the vendor. Council members and the mayor need to do the same. They need to write it whenever they disclose it and send it to the city manager or the mayor. And then it also needs to be placed upon the agenda for the next available council meeting, because in our charter it says that it has to be a separate item for public review, so it has to actually be in the minutes according to the charter.
And that's the council members and mayor.
For the mayor and the council members, not for anybody else. It only says mayor and council members. So if it's anyone other than mayor and council members, it just needs to be disclosed to the mayor and city manager and attached to the quote. That's my understanding. Conflict of interest does not automatically disqualify a vendor from doing business with the city. However, they do require that any city elected official, appointed officer, or employee with related interests be entirely removed from all decision-making, approval, or purchasing activities connected to that vendor or transaction. Okay, and then again, I just copy-pasted it from the personnel policy. Spouse, parent, step-parent, mother-in-law, father-in-law, child, step-parent, sister, sister-in-law, brother, brother-in-law, and grandparent. That's how it's defined in our personnel policy. I did not make any changes to the gratuities, rebate, kickback, contingency fees, or confidential information. I did not make any changes to the unauthorized purchases or the purchasing cycle. I did make changes on page 7 to the procurement threshold. We added a category. So previously it was 3 informal quotes from anything from $250 to $10,000. We changed it to 1 informal quote for $250 to $2,500, and 3 informal quotes for $2,500 to $10,000. The others remain the same. So we kind of split that up to where we only need 1 quote for anything under $2,500 and 3 quotes for $25,000 to $10,000. Do you guys have any questions about the thresholds and what they require? Because the city council is only involved in approvals for $25,000. Do you guys understand that? You're good with that?
That might need to be discussed a little bit,
Okay.
just to kind of get a feel.
Well, it's the work session. Put it out. Put it out. What do you think?
Well, I want to hear y'all's opinion. I mean, you know my opinion. You know. I'd like to hear from the council members what they think, if you think it's a good idea. You know, if you think it should be different. I do like to hear that you did put all quotes, bids, proposals, or public information to be subject to provisions of the Georgia Open Records Act. Thank you.
What's your difference from informal to formal?
So that's defined on the next page.
Okay.
So an informal quote is not a legally binding document. It doesn't necessarily include exact quantities, the tax-free status, or shipping. So it's just kind of an idea of how much it's going to cost. It's not the actual cost.
Okay. Thank you.
So what happens then, what if we get a quote for, I could see on Gabe, let's say for something comes in at 24,000, which doesn't need our approval, but then you're missing a lock or whatever, and then it pushes it up over the $25,000 with the add-in. What do we do in a situation like that? That pushes it to the $25,000.
$25,000, we would probably address you guys.
The current mayor would address.
I think the main thing is disclosing.
Right.
Right.
Disclosing
So
that.
we know what's going on.
I don't think we need approval on the 10 to 25, but I'd like to know before.
There you go, like a notification.
So notification before they proceed with the $10,000 to $25,000. Not per se that they need our approval, but we want to be informed of it.
There you go.
Yeah.
How's that?
Well,
So in essence, what you'd like to have on there is something like, this may include taxation and this may include shipping.
No.
This is to notify, so anything within, I agree, I think anything, that's a big thing from $10,000 to $24,000. I think that the city council, I really think should be informed. Hey, just want to let you know, the police department has 3 formal quotes for this, that, and the third. Here are your 3 formal counts. What do you guys think? I mean, even just, hey, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Not saying that we have to vote on it or approve it, but give us the chance to say yay or nay,
More
or just
importantly,
be
just
like,
be aware of it.
just be aware of, we're about to spend.
And we could put a line in there. Like I said, this is going forward. This is, this policy has to stand
Right.
5, 6, 10 years from now.
Right.
And so that's what we're trying to do. all right?
Those are some
So
big
it
numbers.
could be, anything, we could put a dollar amount, anything above this amount, that it would have to be at least mentioned, this is what we're looking at, we got, as far as dollar-wise, to the council.
I just think
Because,
that
you know, I
whole
mean,
category
and I think-
should say
and I
that
think
the
to me,
council
I
should
think-
be informed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just inform email. Hey guys, just want to let you know that the informational email for the police department is going to be this, that, and the third.
Yeah,
Here's
for
the
the
3
secured
formal quotes.
call, $15,000.
I
we
think
have to
that you should
notify
be
that.
informed because all of a sudden we see something on the budget, we're like, what was that?
And then you're gonna have somebody,
And I guess that is right.
where's this $15,000 come from? And then we're gonna have to look at each other, and then that's
Oh,
gonna get
I
reported
know.
by Hope. And then, of course, we're gonna have other questions from the community. So, yeah, I understand, and that's where the notification.
Well, then too, that addresses my concern, what happens if it's 24, then all of a sudden you get something added in and it pushes it to the 25, and we have no clue about it.
Disclosure.
So do we stop that quote and say, okay, now the city council has to vote? Because if it reaches that threshold of 24,000, if it hits $25,000, we should have a say.
So you want to break it off to,
Correct.
well, it was 10 to 25, 10 to 20, to
You wanna make it
$25,000.
Well, no, I mean, just, the next category, you're just gonna add in one line that
Inform council.
just informal notification to city council.
So where it says 3 formal quotes sent to council.
Yeah, send to council, just for informational.
To informational purposes only, that we know what's going on.
So not in the approval section.
Correct.
In the quote.
It's just that
Correct.
we're just being notified that this is going on in this category. So we're not blindsided.
And we'd have to do that, we'd have to put the same line item in the 25,000.
Right.
Well, we're gonna be,
Well, we have to, yeah.
Just to make sure.
so yeah,
I mean, I'm going from the past.
Competitive bid process.
I mean, we want to keep it, you know, like I said,
Very streamlined, very smooth.
keep it, just, right.
Keep it growing.
This is, you know, this has got to work, you know, 10 years from now.
The 3-4 quote share of council. Once you get over 25,000, you're looking at competitive bids.
And
So that's something completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah, that's where they approach us. It's not where we look for amount. So I can easily add share of council, and that just means once we collect the quotes, then I would BCC you guys an email that says this is what we're purchasing, this is the quotes that we have, this is how much we're expecting to spend. This is where it's coming out of the budget. That's fine.
But are you sharing also with those vendors that once we get that quote, okay, this is that quote, we understand that there's, say it's $24,000, and we're like, oh, guess what, we're gonna have to go get this, that, and the third. Are you going to turn around, or is the mayor gonna turn around and say, hey, we have to stop, and we have to get our city council involved on this? Because now it's reaching a whole nother
I would think so.
Yeah,
Because
but
if they go into it, if they go in, I
Don't
mean,
know
we
that.
can't work.
You would have to put something in, you would have
I
to,
get it, they might know it, but are we informing them, if this goes into the 25,000 bracket, we have to stop doing what we're doing? You have to give us your brand new quote, your form
well,
of
it would be a change order.
It would be
In
a change
construction,
order,
it's a
and
change
that
order.
wouldn't be a
So
new
you would
quote.
have to, you know, you would have to be, the council would have to be notified of any change order to the original.
So change orders up to a certain, I had in the initial one that was really big, a change order section. Change orders up to a certain dollar amount, like $200, didn't need anybody's approval except for the department head. And then over $500 needed the mayor's approval, and then over $5,000 needed the council's approval. Do you see what I'm saying? So there
We'll
was.
have to probably should slide that back, add that back in again.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, if it.
Do it
goes
smaller
to a
print, that
whole
way it
other
doesn't take a lot of
category,
pages.
Then we have to sit here and do that formal bid process.
And we would like to limit change orders to a certain amount of change orders, ideally. So if, let's say that $100 for department heads for change orders, does that sound good to everybody?
I'm fine with that.
Even if it takes it above the threshold, because it's a change order. And
So
not
you're
a
saying
whole
it goes
quote.
from the
If
200 to
it's
300.
$24,900 and they get a change order for $100, then it won't technically, do you see what I'm saying? Because it's a change order.
Right.
Okay. Now, if they get an excess of so many change orders in the amount of $100, then something would need to
Then we
happen.
need to limit that then.
Right,
We need
that's
to
right.
say, you know, if it's $100 of a change order, that's fine, but they can only be limited to 5 or however, 3. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
at
Because if
$100? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because if they get it, they do a change order, and then they do a change order, and then they do a change order, they're gonna know, oh, well, I can just keep submitting change orders and we're gonna be good.
Yes.
So,
Then that takes me out of the,
that
the
bracket.
whole
Right.
process, you know,
That's
if
the
I,
bid process.
you know, the bid process, yeah. But-
So now we have to
Kind of
pick a number for limit.
Can we give an example of where you spend 25,000?
Not,
A car, well,
That'd be slow.
yeah, used cars are usually exempt from purchasing,
yeah.
from the purchasing policy, just so
Contract
that
work.
we can't really compare
Well,
apples.
the car, let's say for instance, the
For the
dog
car,
park.
yes. For
I
the,
know
like,
when
the
you-
equipment out here.
Anything here approvals, you keep saying city manager, we don't have one.
No,
The
We're doing that,
I'm sure it's looking forward.
but looking forward,
Whatever, but
just that way, yeah. That's what that's for, that,
I just think 25,000.
The goal is-
very high.
you know, my goal is, you know, hopefully to hire somebody as a city manager down the road, once we get a lot of this stuff organized, you know, so that's,
I was just curious, I think $25,000, me personally, is high.
Yeah.
Is the way I look at it. I mean, I guess I can go ahead and tell you what my thinking is, because I think you're a manager, what you are.
I'm acting as a city manager. I'm acting as,
All these people here are supervisors. And the city, citizens of Pendergrass is the owner of this place.
yeah,
And that's how you gotta answer to it.
Right.
I just think it needs to be lower, you need to be answering to the citizens more than what is. These budgets, I mean, you know, Especially, I mean, I can understand police
Well,
cars, they
and
just don't come before.
But that's why I said we want to be informed on that 10,000,
That's right.
because I don't want to be blindsided.
Yes, I agree, that's what I'm saying. You come into a meeting,
Do
somebody
you
says,
agree with me on something?
I agree with it.
Okay.
You bring them in.
I know.
Bring the kids here.
So I think honestly with that change order, I think that we just need to get a number of limit.
Yeah.
5.
No.
I hate odd numbers, but I'm saying 3. I want 3.
Okay.
300?
Like 3 change of.
Massive changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have 10 change orders.
No.
No.
I'm not gonna get away with anything.
I say max of 3.
Okay. 2 for 3. What you guys think?
I actually think that we need to reward all of that and then come back in and just put it on their back and just say.
I'm gonna add in a whole
She's
thing.
adding a whole other.
Okay, so
For change
I'm
orders.
basically saying, if with the additives that may come about, if that makes a change, putting it over the $2,500 amount or whatever,
2,500.
it will move into the next category and it will hold you up because we are going to have to vote on it. I mean, just one simple thing like that, and like I said, that kind of puts onus on them.
Get your bid, get your
Yeah,
bid
right.
done, get it done.
That's right.
Well, that's, with bids, it's a contract.
Right.
So-
Yeah.
And yes, you can have change orders with those, but they're less likely to happen. But whenever you're talking about quotes,
Right.
right, it could happen.
But this is where that change order comes in, that if it does go into that $25,000 threshold,
Right,
they're only allowed to go so much over
before it comes to
before
you.
it comes to us.
Right.
I have a company, that did condo projects and did all the furnishings for it and everything else. And every time we ever bid on anything, that was made clear up front.
That's a bid. We're talking about quotes.
Well,
We're just doing quotes right now.
okay.
So I think if we did a change order and maxed it out to the $100 change order, I think that they should only
3
reach
times.
out to 3 times.
Okay, that's
I
fine.
honestly think that. Because if they start getting,
We got 2 people that say 3. I think 5. I'll just turn out number one. 3? Okay. Yeah, 1 for 1.
I'm going with my buddy right now.
Okay. 2 for 1, 2 for 3. Mr. May, what do you say?
Split it and go 2.
I'll go with the 3.
3. Okay. So we'll say, $100 for the department head times 3 is $300, right? The mayor, $500 times 3 is $1,500. So that's the max he could approve. And then if it goes over that, then it would have to come to you guys. That sounds good.
Sure.
Okay.
So this is,
I'm just glad I'm not allowed to.
you legally can't vote that in, I mean, you can't
No,
vote.
this isn't being voted on yet. We're still working on this document. There's nothing, this is coming up for vote in either maybe December or January. Yeah, this is just a working document that we're working on. So we're just adding words right now.
I understand you're looking out for the future and everything, but right now, and don't get me wrong, it's a lot better now than it was 6 months ago, by far. You're trying to work it out. I'd like to see the prices lowered at the top up there, where you have a little more control and they become before the city.
If you get them too low, though, it kind of makes it difficult for us to buy things.
Box everything down.
It stops everything.
Whenever we need to buy things, and they're low compared to other cities.
Yeah.
I can
And-
pull up,
Other cities are a lot larger.
well, even compared to other cities that are similar in size, they're low.
And an example is, so far I've had 3 quotes on painting the house over there, all right? Scraping it off and on. One of them was like $4,400, and I had one for like over $13,000. And one was around $700, like $7,000. So, I mean, the one guy that was low, he wants to get city business. he lowered, he's going to having a lot.
I understand all that.
And they got it with high, put in there, it shows lead paint. So they have to worry about lead paint abatement and stuff like that, getting rid of the lead paint on it. The house is 100 years old. So that we have to look into what the city would be enough if we just did it. There was lead paint,
You gotta leave leeway.
clean it up.
Whenever I was making this, I did a lot of research. I've read
Well, I tell you, you've done a great job.
probably 60 plus different purchasing policies from different cities. And a lot of them that I read were, it's on GMA's website, Georgia City. You can look up your sister cities, which is where you can look up cities that have similar budgets and similar population sizes and stuff. So I pulled those things too, not just, I didn't just look at Gwinnett or Atlanta. I looked at those because they're, the best in the state. But I looked at similar cities also, not just
Pull some numbers out of your hat.
But our history, here ain't that simple as other.
Oh, yeah. They are pretty low compared. And let's see, I did not change P-card or public works contract. I didn't change informal quote or formal quote. I changed part of the competitive field, but I think I've removed the local vendor preference rules and made it its own category. It's on page 10. It was a subsection of the previous section, but I made it its own. And I added a lot to it. I pretty much redid it. And this is where mostly what we talked about at the last meeting. So we define local vendors as businesses that currently hold a valid business license within the city or is located within 20 miles of the city's limits. We didn't want to limit it to just Jackson County because we're so close to the Hall County line, so we said 20 miles of the city limits. I added a local vendor preference because before, for some reason, I just had match. I guess I had left out preference inadvertently, but so I have two amounts, 10% for anything under $10,000. We can choose the local vendor if they're within 10%. Anything over $10,000 within 5%, we can choose the local vendor. Is that good for everybody? Mm-hmm. Then for the opportunity to match, anything over $10,000, they'll be given the opportunity to match the lowest price proposed if they're not within 5%. So if they're not within 5%, let me read it again. Can you match with you?
Yeah, because they go to a non-local.
Yeah.
Well, they have the opportunity to price match it, right?
Yes.
But also it's to the local vendor with the lowest price. That way you can't just give it out to all local.
Yeah.
Right.
The one that was the most competitive. That's fine.
All right.
That's all good.
Got it.
And then if there are multiple local vendors, the match opportunity will be given to the vendor with the lowest price. And then if they decline to match, it would go to the local vendor with the next lowest price. And it would go, and then if all of them decline to match the lowest price,
And it would go to that person.
it would go to the lowest local vendor, as long as it was within the percentage.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. It's kind of confusing.
Okay.
And it does not apply to public works, construction, or road projects, but that's because there are specific laws in the state of Georgia that say that you can't, that you have to follow certain, whenever it comes to those types of contracts. And then we have the insufficient. We added this just because the mayor has had some issues with getting quotes. Whenever we reach out to people, they don't get back to us. We have to keep reaching out to people. So we put, if we reach out to 5 vendors and we do not receive at least 3 back, then the reaching out will count as a quote. Does that sound good to everybody?
So, could you say that again?
In other words, if I send a quote request out and to like 5 different people, or if I try 3 and I don't get 3 back, then I try another one, then I try another one, right? So therefore, and then I only get 2 quotes after I've tried, multiple other vendors. So me reaching out to different vendors and not getting quotes back will count as one of the 3 quotes.
Makes sense.
So I mean, if we only get 2 quotes back,
Makes sense.
and we send it to 5 people, what do we, and we got 3 quotes in there. So it just gives a little flexibility in the policy. That way, like I said, I mean, we didn't have a good name in the past, and we're trying to clean it up, so, and this is, one of the things that, we run into,
So we can count our attempt to get a quote as a quote
as a
if we
quote.
try.
Even though there's no price attached to it, we try,
20 million quotes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that way we don't have to try forever and ever and ever to get quotes.
Like the lawyer.
Okay.
Any questions? So I have, adding in the change order section and notify the council of the 3 formal quotes between 10,000 and 24,000. I am going to edit that and then email it to you guys. Do you want to work on it at the next work session, or do you want to vote on it with those changes?
I think can we pull it if it's all done by next week?
Next week, like I said, we're going to try to vote the budget in the next council meeting. All right, get that done. I mean, if we
We can
If this is
review,
ready-
review the changes.
Order section might be, it'll be a lot probably, so maybe work session.
Well, because the thing is, we want to get it approved by the end of the year.
Well,
We have.
I know you're.
we have December, but even if we get it into January, I think we'll be all right. To tell you the truth, what I mean, 'cause this is in the process.
If you can get it done, then that'd be great, but if you can't.
But then we also have coming in December is the building codes.
The building codes, because
That
that's
we-
gonna be a lot in December.
So can we,
That's what
wait
I'm
a lot
saying.
at the end of the year.
That's what I mean.
You're doing your research.
The purchasing, if it's, I mean, if it shows up at the work session in December or whatever, and if everybody's okay, then fine. If, we could just do a quick ordinance on it.
I mean, if by chance, I know you have training class, what, tomorrow and Thursday. If by chance you can get it done by Tuesday, then great. If not, then it will be pushed. But I'm like, I'd like to get it
It's
over
gonna,
and
it's
done
gonna have
by
to be adopted as an ordinance coming into the,
Yeah, no pressure.
so. But like I said, it means.
We'll buy you pizza. You can do it.
you might be able to put that in your council meeting?
What's your favorite Starbucks drink? I'll get my daughter to.
All right.
Not really in the city business.
Anything else on that
No,
side?
she's in the city business.
She's not related to her.
City business.
She's first.
I hope that's her.
You need anything else on that?
No, I,
Okay.
Thank you very much.
thank you for all your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Do we have, is there anything else, any concerns going on? I know it's not on the agenda, but anything else? Like,
No, I can't get it. Don't look at me like that.
Are you going up to the podium?
I was gonna run back and get my clock. You got the 5-second clock. Yeah, it's, all right, if there's nothing else, do I have a motion to it?
Great. Anybody want to say anything?
Anything?
No, I want to say thank you. I've got a meeting starting at 7 in the morning. I finished at 10:30 last night, so I was about to leave anyway. Thank you. This is such an